Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Good to see everyone tonight as we celebrate together. We are going to continue with candle lighting. I'd like to invite Wendy Sidlofsky to lead us in the blessing and lighting on page 2.
Come on, Rabbi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom again. And we now have a very special part of our service added tonight. I would like to invite Elizabeth and Aaron to come forward with their son, who is going to get a name. He already has a name, but we're going to give him a Hebrew name. So we can say your English name now is Henry, and we are going to give you a Hebrew name. Our God, source of all life, we thank you for the countless blessings you have given us. We thank you especially for the sacred joy and privilege of parenthood, which adds profound meaning and purpose to our existence. Grateful for your gift of life, Elizabeth and Aaron have come into your sanctuary to thank you and ask your guidance in the upbringing of their son. Grant to these parents wisdom, patience, and devotion, that they may raise their son to live in accordance with your Torah. In this synagogue and in the presence of this holy congregation, we give to this child the Hebrew name, Oren ben Elisheva Baharon Henry Matthews. May it become a name honored in the household of Israel. Extend your shelter over him and give to him love, health, and understanding. May he so grow and live as to become a blessing to his parents and family, to the Jewish people, and to all humanity. And we say, Amen. Elizabeth has written some beautiful words. She's asked me to read them on her behalf. It's a little emotional. Henry's Hebrew name, Oren, holds significant meaning for several reasons. Henry's parents chose his late grandmother, Lori Keating, as his namesake. Lori derives from Latin, symbolizing success and peace through the laurel wreath in ancient Rome. And lastly, honoring the Irish heritage in both of Aaron's and Elizabeth's families, the name Oren has roots in Hebrew and Gaelic, translating to pine tree, fair, pale. In Hebrew, Oren also is close in sound to or, meaning light, symbolizing illumination and clarity. As we explored these meanings, we couldn't help but envision the qualities we wish for Henry. We were surprised to learn that the name Oren is found in many languages and cultures that we are connected to. What was most interesting was the overall theme of nature. The interpretations of what light and trees represent around the world always came back to tikkun olam for us. One of the core tenets of Judaism, repairing the world, is vital to the continuation of the Jewish people. We wish for Henry to be the light in this world, to guide others through dark and hard times. We hope he becomes a champion for peace and that he grows into a man of endless compassion and love. We also hope that Henry develops an appreciation for our beautiful earth, upholding the practice of tikkun olam to pursue a life protecting our environment and society. Ultimately, we want Henry to be a beacon to all and a light in anyone's life that he touches, just as he has always been and always will be a light in our life. Mishaberach avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech et hayeled harach hazeh v'yizku aviv v'imo legadlo lahancho v'lahachmo v'yiyu yadav v'libo le'el emunah v'nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, bless this child with life and health. May he be a joy to his parents. May he live to bring honor to the house of Israel, blessings to humanity, and glory to the name of God. And we'll join together in words of thanks and praise to God for giving us life, sustaining us, and bringing us to this joyous time together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehacheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. And this is a reading called Be that I want to share with you. Be understanding to your enemies. Be loyal to your friends. Be strong enough to face the world each day. Be weak enough to know that you cannot do everything alone. Be generous to those who need your help. Be frugal with what you need yourself. Be wise enough to know that you do not know everything. Be foolish enough to believe in miracles. Be willing to share your joys. Be willing to share in the sorrows of others. Be a leader when you see a path others have missed. Be a follower when you are shrouded by the mists of uncertainty. Be the first to congratulate an opponent who succeeds. Be the last to criticize a colleague who fails. Be loving to those who love you. Be loving to those who do not love you, and they may change. Above all, be yourself. And we'll ask this blessing on you.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ken yehi ratzon. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Ken yehi ratzon.
May the light of God's presence look upon you and be good to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yashem lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon. Amen.
May God always continue to look on you and give you a life of peace, shalom. Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Mazel tov. Thank you. And on behalf of Temple Israel, we are very proud and happy to present you with this beautiful naming certificate that we hope you will have and keep with you for a lifetime to remember this important day. It has your name in Hebrew and English, your parents' names, and this date, and where this naming took place. And it says here, V'agadla shimcha v'haya bracha. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And That is what we hope for you, Henry. Mazel tov.
Thank you very
Tov.
much.
Mazel tov. Let me take that. Okay, mazel tov. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Page 9. Read together near the bottom. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God. Page 12, we'll continue with Lechuna Ranana.
Lechune ranena l'Adonai, Narial etzor yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot narialo.
And page 13, Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Meyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim, Nifleotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Hu La Me'od, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim, Yalai la lai lai, 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 Yalai la lai lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai.
And page 17, continue with Psalm 99, the last 3 lines in Hebrew on this page, Romamu. Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu lehar kodsho. Pages 20 and 21. We will continue with Lecha Dodi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. During the last verse, verse 9, please rise, face the doorway to the sanctuary as we symbolically greet the Shabbat bride. Those watching on live stream, we invite you to join and stand and face the doorway to your room as well. Page 20.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat nekabela lechatoti likvat kala pene Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem multiferet filitila lechadoti likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadoti likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mikor habracha merosh mikadam nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori uri shidaberi kvod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela boi v'shalom alteret balak gam b'simcha u'tzoholot toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela.
We'll continue page 22, Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot laDonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot laDonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון בכינור מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך ארני מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 26, continue with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה.
יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה.
בריחו.
לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה וימרו.
Amen. Page 28, please rise for Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. Please be seated. Middle of page 31. Let's read together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Page 32, continue with the singing of Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Chavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata. Hakein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shokmeinu v'kumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'l'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Ki chem chayenu, V'yorech yameinu, Uvahem negeh yomam v'layla.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto leolam va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על במזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We'll continue reading together at the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Norah tehilot osefele, Norah tehilot osefele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, galo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, gal Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Page 43. We'll read together in the middle. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over the shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 44, we join together in celebrating Shabbat as the sign of the eternal covenant between God and the Jewish people.
V'shamru v'nei Istrail et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam, berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam, berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam, ברית עולם, כי
ששת
ימים
ימים
עשה אדוני את השמיים
השמיים
ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 46 and the following pages in Hebrew, please rise and let's join together in tefillah.
Adonai sefata tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gadol ha'gibor v'ha'norah, El Elyon, gomel chasadim tovim, v'koneh ha'kol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevii gula livnei bneihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshiach magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh ha'kol atah Rav le'hoshia. Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayeh ha'kol berachamim rabim, somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim. Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umidom elach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. And you may have noticed when we sang Gvurot on page 50, we changed for the first time this season to Morid Hatal. At Pesach, at Passover, we changed over officially from winter to summer. So that's exciting news. Yay. And now, and there was great rejoicing, as they say in 9 to 5. Right. Yeah. All right. Page 57. Read together in the middle. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, and let our worship bring us closer to one another. that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Amen. And prayer for peace we'll read together, top of page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, Shalom. Shalom Rav, prayer for peace is found at the top of page 60.
Shalom Rav, al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam, Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Melech Adon lechol hashalom. V'toveinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ולכל שעה בשלומך.
We'll take a moment now for individual silent prayer and reflection.
Of peace, but dreaming's just the start. Gotta try to understand your neighbor's heart. Walk in the shoes of the stranger, 'cause we were once strangers too. Oseh shalom in Roma, Oyaseh shalom aleinu. Istrail, amen. Well now, if you walk down the same old road with no diplomacy, you're gonna miss your chance to find some human dignity. When violence is the only tool that you got, everybody becomes your enemy. Oh, say shalom in Roma. Say shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'yimeru amen. Hey now, make peace for all of us who walk this earth. Resolve our differences, our conflicts and fears, and let's discover that we are one. Amen, amen. Ose shalom bimromav, Uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimaru, amen. One more time now. Ose shalom bimromav, Uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimaru, amen.
A prayer of healing for loved ones. Mishaberach avotenu, Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, v'yivarech v'yirapet kol cholei Yisrael v'kol cholei Adam. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think especially of Ransom Starkey, Jim Waxman, Virginia Shipley, Elizabeth Woodsmall, Hope Munyon, Gerard Heller, Britt Knox, Madeline Ann Cohen, Carol Frank, Grace Boyd, David Gutman, Richard Goddard, Judy Fleet, Theodosia O'Dowd, Tina Linnell DiGregorio, Naomi Harris, Alan Webb, Byron Block, Martin Arnold, Marjorie Gilberg, Amy Jackson, Diana Fernandez, David Greenberg, David Priceman, Selma Szymanski, Faye Barnett. We also think of those who have been wounded physically and emotionally in the terrorist attacks on Israel in October and in the ongoing war in Israel and Gaza since that date. We think of those still held as hostages. We think of their loved ones. We think of those who have been released and are still suffering from physical and emotional wounds. If anyone has other names to add for those in need of healing who are sick or injured, please feel free to do so as I look in your direction. Those watching on live stream, feel free to mention names at this time as well.
Fred Chester.
V'tishlach lahem refuah shlema, refuat nefesh, refuat haguf, v'nomar amen. May God grant all of them, those whose names we have read, the names we have mentioned, those in our own hearts and minds, a complete and speedy healing, a healing of body and a healing of spirit, and we say, amen. We'll join page 253 in the middle, together in a prayer for healing, Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avotenu, Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, Mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 259, we'll continue with the prayer for Israel, Avinu Shabashamayim.
Avinu, Avinu, Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'golo. Avinu, Avinu, Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'golo. Barech, barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Micha Geulateinu. Hagen aleha bevrat hastecha, ufros aleha suchat shomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'golo. Avinu, Avinu, Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'golo.
So this Shabbat, being in the middle of Pesach, the Passover, we take a break from the weekly order of Torah readings and we read from a special Torah portion. The passage is one that we read at its normal time in the cycle as well. It's called Ki Tisa. It includes Exodus chapter 34. And as you may have heard me say when the cycle came around before, I often refer to this as the part of the Torah about the 20 commandments. Why do I call it that? Leading up to this section, we read that Moses had ascended Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, and specifically the 10 commandments. While up there for 40 days, the Israelites presumed him dead, and many lost faith. They decided to build an idol, a golden calf, to be their God. And God was furious with the people, as was Moses, who upon returning smashed the tablets containing the 10 commandments. And after a period of remorse by and forgiveness of the Israelites, we read in the portion today for Chol HaMoed Pesach, the intermediary days of Pesach on Shabbat, that God then instructed Moses to return to the mountain and receive a second set of commandments. Now this time, though, he would have to carve the stones for himself, seemingly to dissuade him from repeating his earlier angry response by taking ownership of his actions. Our tradition teaches that in the Ark of the Covenant, the Israelites later carried both the new tablets as well as the pieces of the shattered original tablets. And this reminds us that in our lives, we carry with us parts that are whole as well as parts that are broken. Both are important and both are central to making us who and what we are. We need to take what is broken and keep it as part of us, together what is whole, to remind us of our fragility and our ability to strive for wholeness even in challenging times. As with the Israelites, what is good in our lives and often taken for granted can shatter almost instantly, causing confusion, remorse, and anxiety. Yet, when we take ownership and commit to recreating and rebuilding, we are able to appreciate and learn from what is broken, keeping it with us, while also continuing to create something new and whole. A little later in the Torah, in Leviticus, we read that the priests were to keep the flame on the altar burning day and night. In our own temple, we symbolize this with the Ner Tamid, the eternal light that burns continually above our ark, as it does in congregations throughout the world. The word used for the flame is not the usual term for a physical fire, lahav or lehava. Rather, it is esh, which also has the meaning of inspiration and passion. When we are in challenging times, as we are today, often feeling broken and anxious, we need to remember that we can again become whole, that our inspiration and passion found in our tradition and through our sense of community needs to be continuous. They help us acknowledge what is broken, yet continue to strive for wholeness. The word for wholeness in Hebrew is shleimut, from the same root as shalom. As we wish each other a Shabbat shalom, therefore, it is more than just a greeting. It is a hope that on this day of rest, at this season when we give special thanks for our freedom, and yes, even and especially at a time when we may feel broken and in need of repair, we hope that we are able to carry not only our broken pieces with us, but our wholeness as well. I wish you all Moadim L'Simcha, seasons of joy, and Shabbat Shalom. Well, we have another addition to our service this evening. So, of course, Pesach began last Monday night, and some of you may know that starting on the second day of Pesach, of Passover, we start what's called counting the Omer, or, if you're like me, counting the Homer. We have a wonderful Homer Simpson counting the Omer calendar with each day. So, but we count the Omer. The Omer is a sheaf of the grain that was gathered, grown, and gathered during this time. For 7 weeks, we count for 49 days, each day counting which day it is of the Omer, until we get to Shavuot, which is 7 weeks after Passover. And it's a special custom, special tradition. Tonight is the fourth night, as it started the second day of Passover, which was Tuesday night. So we'll begin with blessing. Actually, we're going to turn first, before we do the blessing, we have a passage that's read. This is on page 278 in the prayer book. 278. Hineni muchan u'muzuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirat ha'omer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer.
Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom arba'a yamim la'omer. Today is the fourth day of the Omer. Again, each week between now and the Shabbat before Shavuot, we will continue to count the Omer and list not only the days, but how many weeks and days. Now, at this point in our service, we always invite people up for smachot, for joyous occasions. And I saw it as an additional way over these next 7 weeks that the Omer, as I said, was a sheaf of grain that was harvested and eventually offered. And we are all bringing our own offerings of thanksgiving when we share our joyous occasions with one another. So anyone who wants to share a joyous occasion and come up to the bima, help us open the Ark for Aleinu in a few minutes, you are also sharing an offering of thanksgiving. Debbie. Mm. Mazel tov, that sounds wonderful. Come on up. Other good news to share? Lucas?
Wow.
And you didn't bring him to services. Okay. Mazel tov. Mimi? Yes, mazel tov. I'm sure anyone who wants to see pictures is going to, you will definitely see, worth seeing, so cute, as I said last week. Mazel tov, and mazel tov to Alex and Naomi. Yes? Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Come on up. Well, I'm very happy to have Wendy back for her first Shabbat, back with us after a number of weeks away. And her mother, my mother-in-law, Linda Newman, is also here visiting, is just unfortunately not up to coming this evening, but I'm sure will come in the future, and did meet a number of you at the Seder, and is looking very much forward to a nice visit here with us for a few weeks. Yeah, nothing serious, so don't be concerned. But I also, speaking of the Seder, want to say that it was such a pleasure to be here for our first Pesach and to help lead the Seder for the congregation. We had a very, very good turnout and just a wonderful feeling. And the amount of work that went into the setup and the preparation was incredible, and I think everyone had a great time. So that was a really real highlight of the week. And I look forward to continuing that each year.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh,
Yeah,
baby.
and if you want to learn how to do cool songs at the end, let me know. Anyone else? Okay, page 282. Please rise for Aleinu, and we'll open the ark.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol,
Lateit
lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoy ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kecho hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu notei shamayim veyoser haaretz, u'moshe v'charo b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo, begovhei meromim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efesu lato, kakatuv b'torato, V'yadata hayom ve'ashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, v'ya'aretz mitachat ein od, v'nemar v'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Thank you. Mazel tov to everyone. Please be seated. Page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memory keeps shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And on this Shabbat, we think of those who have passed away recently. For Shloshim, Ruth Bean, Bert Huglander. We think of those who have died recently in Israel and in Gaza and the ongoing war. We remember the yahrzeit, the anniversary of death of Arthur Potts, Steve Wanish Summers, Carol Garfine Berman, Garland Alvin York, my mother B. Sidlofsky, Rita Hawley, Eileen Dampf, James Franklin Rivers, Ina Jeffrey, Mary Ann Deichman, Anita Fleet, David Yamin Ben Simon, Julius Bloomberg, Ruth Barron. If anyone else has a name or names of someone for Shloshim, a recent death, or yahrzeit, anniversary of death, please feel free to mention. As I again look in your direction, those watching on live stream, feel free to mention names at this time as well. For the names we have read, for the names we have mentioned, for those in our own hearts and minds, for those who have no one to say the words of Kaddish for them, it's our custom to stand together as a sacred congregation, recite the words of this prayer together on page 294, words praising God for the gift of life and the memories that we have of loved ones. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Gerutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon, U'v'yomechon, U'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalau V'zman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'almei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shmei Dekudesha B'richu, Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Tamiran Be'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, all Israel and all of humanity, and we say together, Amen. Please be seated. And I'd like to invite our temple president, Bruce Weiner, to share some greetings and announcements with us.
Shabbat Shalom. First, I would like to thank Rabbi for leading the Passover Seder. It was really a wonderful community event. Great turnout. Thank you to Stefanie as well. It was really nice celebrating our first Passover with the Sidlofskys. So, oh yes, sure. Thank you. It was so nice celebrating Passover with you all. And it was a great evening. Next, Todah Rabbah to the Matthews family for sponsoring tonight's Oneg in celebration of Henry's Hebrew naming. Tomorrow, please join Rabbi for Shabbat morning services at 10 a.m. in the Gibbs Family Chapel. Thank you. Sorry. There will be a seventh-day Passover and Yizkor service on Monday, April 29th at 10 a.m. The temple business office will be closed that day for Passover. At 6:30 p.m., there will be a greeter so make sure I got that. 6:30 p.m., there will be a greeter best practices training with Wendy Sidlofsky. That's this Monday. Please mark that on your calendar. 6:30 p.m. this Monday, greeter best practices training with Wendy. We will also have some hummus to break Passover with. Please see the link in the email sent out by Lisa, I think, this past Thursday. There will also be a service for Yom HaShoah on Sunday, May 5th, 2 p.m. at Temple Istrail. Please join the whole Jewish community for this service of remembrance. Please join Sisterhood for their annual meeting and installation of new board members on Sunday, May 19th at 10 a.m. A light brunch will follow the meeting and will be served. And always remember, there's something for everyone at Temple Istrail. Can't forget that. Check your temple times Tuesday evening for what's going on. There's so much content in the temple times. And congratulations again to Alex and to Mimi and family on Mimi's grandson and Noah, right? Noah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, congratulations. We look forward to seeing Noah running around here very soon. We wish everyone a happy Pesach, Shabbat Shalom.
So for any confusion that there may be, as there seems to be every year, in the Reformed Jewish community, we celebrate 7 days of Pesach, of Passover, in line with the biblical description and how it's done in Israel. It was expanded by an additional day in the diaspora, in the conservative and Orthodox communities. And some members of our community may choose to celebrate for 8 days. That's great. But we will, since it is 7 days for us, then Monday evening we will be having regular refreshments. If anyone wants to bring additional macaroons or matzah or anything like that, please do. So we don't want you to not be able to enjoy the refreshments with us. We are going to do a final song that can be sung lots of times, but really in particular, it's a Passover song. It's called Ein Adir, and it's on page 328. And before we sing it, I just want to teach you the very simple chorus so you can join in. The chorus words are mi pi el umi pi el. I'll say that. Mi pi el umi pi el yivorach kol Yisrael. Yivorach kol Yisrael. And it goes like this. Mi pi el umi pi el yivorach kol Yisrael. Try it with me. Mi pi el umi pi el Yivorach kol Yisrael, mi pi el umi pi el, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Ein Adir Kadonai, Vein Baruch Vein Amaram, Ein Gedola Katorah, Vein Darshanecha Yisrael, mi pi el umi pi el, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Ein hadur kadonai, Vein vatik vein amram, Ein zaka katorah, Vein chachamecha Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Ein tahor kadonai, Vein yachid kevein amram, Ein kabira katorah, Vein lamdanecha Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Ein podek Adonai, Vein tzadik vein amram, Ein kedosha katorah, Vein tomchecha Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael, Mipiel umipiel, Yivorach kol Yisrael. And I'll point out one last thing about this. After the chorus part, starting on line 3 with Ein Adir, after the first word in each line, Ein or Ve'ein, the second word, the first letter of each second word of each line is an acrostic, right? So those who are familiar with Hebrew, the first is Adir, Aleph, and then Baruch, Bet, Gedolah, Gimel, and all the way down with most of the letters of the alphabet through Tav at the end. So it is done in that way as well. Adonai oz le'emo yiten, Adonai yivarech et hamo v'shalom. God, we ask that you give us strength as we carry with us our broken pieces, strength to help make broken parts of us whole once again, so that we can help rebuild not only ourselves, but our community and our world, and turn it into one of shalom, of wholeness, and of peace. Amen. Shabbat shalom and moadim l'simcha, as we say in these intermediary days of Pesach, seasons of joy. We are going to have Kiddush and Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lemase bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu vacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikohamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. L'chaim. And before Hamotzi, I want to say special thanks to Stefanie and Lee and Angel for the beautiful music throughout the service, and thank everyone again for coming. Mazel tov again to Henry and his family. And please join us for the oneg in a few minutes. And we say Hamotzi over the matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, te'avon. Shabbat shalom.